Hey, what's up,
Hi.
humans? Thank you for joining us tonight on episode 73 of Scarlett Letter Show. And guess who I have on tonight as my guest? Miss Trippy Pants.
Hi.
What's up? Thank you for coming. Thank you for being
Thanks for
here.
having me.
Yes, I'm super stoked. I always, whenever I have a girl on the show, I'm like, yes, we're gonna be vibing, we're gonna be connected. And I don't know if you've seen what happens during the show, but we're gonna play some Jenga while we do the interview, and you can go first because you're my guest.
Okay. Hopefully don't knock something over
Right
right
away.
away.
No, I think the last one was the fastest it fell. Oh, and then you put it on top.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I don't know if there's any room there. Did he take up the? Yeah, he took up the whole. Well, for the next piece, you can give me your autograph, okay? Because this is Mr. Sex Edward Rob Bloom that just took the whole piece. So, all right, I'm really excited to hear your story because I didn't find a lot about you online. So this is gonna be a whole discovery journey, and I want to know what got you started into the music and entertainment world. Like, were you like super into dance or theater or something when you were a kid?
Um, honestly, it's I started doing I've done a lot of different entertainment related things. I did dance when I was a little kid, gymnastics, I did choir. Um, honestly. And then I got to college and I wanted to be a doctor. And then I ended up discovering this major called ICAM at UCSD, which is like computer music and computer art. And I'd always played piano and done recitals and stuff and like been really into music. So I just kind of like, because of that major, kind of like fell into it. And then my like a group of my friends, we all festivaled together and a bunch of us DJ'd. And so we just kind of all like started throwing parties. And yeah, so it was just kind of something that over time, like I've always been into dance and performing, and it just kind of happened.
That's
So,
pretty awesome. By the way, you put
oh
the
yeah, I've seriously, I've like I don't play Jenga that often, but I also haven't played Jenga in probably like since before quarantine, and yeah, I got distracted by talking and
Oh
forgot
yeah,
how to play
that's the
Jenga.
point. We get another level of difficulty in the show, and then for that one you can pick a color. So you started dancing at what age?
I think I can remember my first dance class was I was probably like um 4 years old.
What?
Like I
That's
was really
awesome.
small. Um,
Do you come from a family of artists too?
yeah, well, my grandma was an artist. My mom was in like a fashion buyer. But I don't know. My family, like my dad's a dentist, and so it's like kind of some science, some art. But yeah, so I do come from a family with artists. So
Do you ever combine both of those worlds, like the more corporate dentist world with your creative flow?
yeah, well, actually, like I work in a dental marketing company. I didn't actually know that it was dental when I applied for the job, but my dad was a dentist, so it was kind of perfect. So I do web development and web design, and I kind of apply and also design our social media advertising stuff. So I kind of apply my creative side that I use in like the entertainment industry, and I
Mm-hmm.
apply it back to that, definitely.
How do you get started into that marketing field? Because that's a whole nother beast, y'all. Like, let me tell you, like, I always struggle with the social media, and like, yeah, I don't even have a website. We were just talking about that I needed to have a landing page. So, what is it that got you started in that field?
Honestly, my dad was a dentist. He owned his own practice. My mom has a degree in business, so
Oh,
growing up,
very cool.
like she helped him run the dental practice, and so I kind of was around them trying to market the practice. And obviously, like with social media, it's gone way beyond what it was when I was growing up, but I kind of already kind of got a little step into business from my mom and my dad, and then with the ICAM, it was that's what the major I took was called ICAM,
Mm-hmm.
and so with that it was like computer related art, so that translated really well to the kind of creative side of marketing, and so that's kind of how I ended up there. Is my major kind of is like I can do creative stuff, I can do it on the computer, like digital marketing makes sense. I'm gonna get an internship in that. So
That's pretty awesome. And Do you have any favorite project that you've ever done?
Um, Ooh, that's hard to say. I mean, I've really loved making the stages for the Afternoon Umbrella Friends events,
Yeah, let's talk
personally.
about your role and the Afternoon Umbrella Friends. I know that you are the role of, or either you're the head of experience team.
Yeah,
Am I making
so that's kind of like decor, creative stuff, event experience, just kind of coming up with like what we want people to feel at that event, and whether that be like this the stage, the decoration, the people we're getting to collaborate. It's just kind of like anything related experience. Obviously, I have a lot of wonderful people that help me execute that, and I'm super thankful for them. But it's basically just making sure that when you come into an Afternoon Umbrella Friends event, like you know that's an AUF event, and like you can tell it's like colorful, it's like on theme, you know? That's basically my job.
And
So
how did you guys come up with the umbrella theme?
so that is really random, super long story. So we started because we were a bunch of friends that we would go to festivals together. We'd have a big camp, we'd all organize it, and we needed a camp name for our festivals. And so we ended up I wasn't actually at this event, but there was a guy, and one afternoon he had I think a Polaroid camera, and he asked our group of friends if he could take a picture of them under this big umbrella, and he told them that like, oh, you guys, like, they wanted to find the picture, and he's basically like, oh, tell me you guys were the Afternoon Umbrella Friends, and I'll remember. And we're like, oh, that's our
Oh, there
camp
you
name.
go.
And so when we threw our first party, we were like, oh, just make that's our name, and we just kind of went with it. So it, like, a lot of like some of stuff we do is like very planned out, and other stuff is like we just come up with something totally random and we just run with it. And the umbrella thing is definitely one of those
That
things.
yeah, it's pretty random. I always think of like, it sticks in your head after an Umbrella Friends, and I love the decor. Every time that I go, I know it's an after an Umbrella Friends because of the colors and obviously the umbrellas hanging. What is it that gets you guys inspired to create that atmosphere? Like, how do you even come up with the whole idea of like the umbrellas hanging in the ceilings and then the colors and all like the scheme, like everything that you guys have? It's very unique.
Um, so I mean, part of it is just like I was made the creative person because when we threw our first party, it was like I did creative things and I had fabric, and they're like, oh, you do it, and it kind of blossomed into this thing where like I was doing really elaborate things and like getting a lot of umbrellas and like really putting thought and effort into it, and so like part of like I've decided there's like a group of like maybe like 8 colors, and I stick to colors similar to those as like our main colors, and like I don't sway too much from that, and so
Okay.
like
What are your base colors?
I mean, so part of it's like my favorite. I really like purple, green, like light blue, like light pink. Yeah, the ones I signed with, and then I use like those are my main, and then I use like silver gold, a little bit of orange. If it's like a theme to like Valentine's Day, I use red. I don't really like. I like the color red, but I don't like how like necessarily how it mixes. Unless if we're doing the full rainbow, I'll use red.
Yeah.
But I kind of stick to like that certain group
The
of
more like happy.
yeah. It's
Like, what do you want people to feel?
like I want people to feel like it's like vibrant. It's like a blast of color, and it's just like really happy and fun, and just I don't know. I want there to be a lot of like pattern and sparkle and just like stuff to catch the light. Like a lot of what I think about is more like, okay, we're gonna have these cool colored lights. Like, how is this fabric gonna catch the light? Like, how are these two fabrics gonna go together? Like, and I really like pattern and texture mixing. So like,
Yes.
I think about like, oh, like how is this pattern gonna look with this one? Like, how's it gonna look when the lights change on it? Stuff like that.
Do you have like your very like favorite creation? Like, what event was your most favorite creation?
Ooh, that's hard. I feel like every time I make like a new creation, like this
You're
was
like,
my favorite, and then like
it keeps getting better and better, right?
well, it's partially that, but it's just also I get like really attached to certain like my creations. Um, there's there's like I made an umbrella for the winter or like last Kava winter one, and then I also made one for the Valentine's one that I like referenced the other one. And so those two are probably my favorite things that I've made for Umbrella Friends. Like I mean I love both of my stages. Those are also favorites, but as far as like things that like I'm super super happy with. Like both of the stages, I made them as something that I'll continue to add
Yeah.
to and change. So it's like different each time. But these like the two umbrellas, they're like it's like I covered an umbrella with iridescent fabric, and then I
Ooh.
cut out shapes,
I was gonna go like,
and then I line them with like I line with sewing trims and stuff. And so the winter one was like kind of reminiscent of a snowflake, but it looked like in between a mandala and a snowflake, and had all different really like iridescent shiny
oh my
fabrics.
god. I
And
need to see
then
this.
the one for Valentine's Day, like similar like mix of fabrics, trims, but it was all made of different sized hearts and kind of arranged like a mandala.
That
So
sounds
those
beautiful.
two,
Yeah.
I actually want to like I've saved all the cutout patterns, so like I want to make an army of ones that look like that in versions of it, you know.
An army of umbrellas.
Yeah. So my goal is to like get more, just eventually like just have completely like all we make all the custom umbrellas.
Custom umbrellas. Yeah, I can see it happening. And then I also love arts and crafts. I used to make my own Ray bras. I made the mystery box that we're gonna see later.
Ooh.
And how do you even find out all the things that you use? Or what are like your go-to stores?
Honestly, that's part of it is just like randomly finding stuff and being like that. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I'm gonna get that. But I mean, I go to the swap meet. I go to honestly like there's a specific glue that I get at Walmart that only is sold at Walmart.
You don't use the E6000?
I don't use E6000 because it takes forever to dry. I use something that's like it's like similar to E6000, but it dries in like 20 minutes. So that's
I need to. Okay, after the show, you're gonna have to tell me your secret, okay?
yeah, but it's that stuff's good. But I also, I mean, I go to thrift stores. I collect a lot of like they'll sell like random mixed bags of different things at thrift stores, or like I buy vintage trims. Like I get a lot of just like I'll order bulk trim and stuff off of eBay or something. I just really like wherever I find stuff that's like well priced, or if I can use, really like repurposing stuff. So
Yeah,
like my grandma used to, she would buy broken jewelry and other things from thrift stores and like take them apart and remake them into really pretty statement jewelry and art. So like I learned from her to kind of like pick apart what you find and remake it. So I try to reuse what I can and then get what I specifically need.
Get creative. Yes.
Yeah.
It's your turn, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Keep forgetting.
I know. We get super into the conversation. You know, it's pretty great. Then tell me about your journey in the DJ world. What is it that got you started?
So honestly, my freshman year of college, one of my good friends, Seth, is actually a DJ with us. We used to just hang out in Seth's room and just Seth would DJ for me for hours and hours, and I learned a little bit, but it got my interest peaked. And then my sophomore year of college, my boyfriend and I, we both got our own decks, and like I kind of started learning like here and there. I like am weird about when I'm learning something, like get kind of overwhelmed by like learning all the new buttons and stuff. So like I didn't jump right into it. Like I was kind of slow to start, but throughout college I started to learn, and then once we started throwing parties, I started practicing a little bit more because I was actually performing rather than just playing in my bedroom, you know? Yes,
fantastic. And we have some pictures of you, the human time capsule experience. So let's look at, you're going to look at pictures and you're going to tell me what happened, the story behind it.
Oh, so this was actually my senior year of high school. I was in dance and we did a spy themed hip hop dance, and so we were spies and we did rather poor breakdancing, but it was fun.
All right, next one, and it's your turn.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like, this one also senior year. This was actually we did like a senior piece that all the graduating seniors performed in, and this was, I think I did like a solo part in it or something. We all had
I used to be in dance too in high school, so yeah, good times. Next one. Ooh, look at her.
That was LIB 2016, I think 2016. Oh, dang.
Well, you know, after the pictures, we're gonna have to do a truth or dare because you lost.
Hello.
But we can do it after the pictures. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Oh, look at her in her element.
So this was one of my first like DJ gigs in like actually in front of a number of people. So it was at Avenue. She was playing a bass set. That time I was with Boogie Mob.
Oh yes, I love some bass.
Yeah, it was so much fun, but I'm working on getting over stage fright, and I was the most scared I'd ever been before a performance before this. But it went well. People were dancing, so
Hey, that's all that matters.
yeah,
There you
I had
go.
a great time.
Next one.
So this was, I believe, one of our Disco Days events, or Under the Umbrella at. It's one of
El
our
Camino,
events at El
right?
Camino, yeah.
And okay, those pants. Okay, tell me about the story of behind Trippy Pants. How did you get that name?
So honestly, the Trippy Pants started in college because I mean, going to and from class, like I went to UCSD, and you spend a lot of your time either in class or doing homework or on the bus in between class and homework. And so I just wanted to be comfy and didn't want to wear jeans, and so I like to be fashionable.
Yeah.
And so I found that like stretchy patterned pants were they looked fashionable and they looked cute, but
And they're comfortable.
they're like pajamas.
Oh,
essentially.
these like
it's basically
super
like you're
comfy.
wearing pajamas out of the house, but people compliment you on your pajamas. But so I started wearing them really regularly, and when I was learning to DJ, actually Malad, who helps, he's one of, as you guys know, he runs Umbrella Friends with me and a bunch of other people, and I went over to practice at his house, and I was wearing these really wild, almost like a Lisa Frank patterned pants.
Ooh.
And after DJing a while, I told him I have no idea what I want my name to be, and I'm really bad at picking names for things. So, like 30 minutes in, he's like, "You're DJ Trippy Pants, and you're never changing that."
Yes.
And initially, he wanted me to have DJ in front of it, and I made him drop that because I just wanted Trippy Pants. But
all right.
yeah, that's where the name came from.
Yes. Let's look at the next one.
So this was my set at Umbrella Weekend. I was super stoked. I got to play Sunset, so we get it from day to night time. And like this is honestly like it was right before quarantine, so.
Oh yeah, I heard the whole story.
Yeah, good memories. But it was also because I like helped build a stage with a group of people, like designed it. I basically sunk all my free time into preparing for Umbrella Weekend for the 2 weeks before. Like didn't get enough sleep, was just like didn't have time for myself. And so when I played the set, it just felt so good because it was like all the hard work.
Work.
And I had stressed up until I played basically, and then I was like, it was able to just like let go, you know?
Beautiful. And I think that we got one more. Okay.
Oh, and then we did our last party at Cava was a Valentine's. It was Bay to Bay couples. So yeah, so this is me and Hugo.
Shout out, he's watching the show outside the studio.
I got him to wear pink.
Oh, nice. All right, I think that's it. So it's time for you to do a truth or dare. Do you want truth or do you want dare?
I don't know. I guess dare.
All right, so you're gonna pick one of these. Ooh, it's the first person that does dare.
Gotta live on the edge. Say something dirty to the person next to you. I'm like pretty bad at any pickup lines, but I was like, what should I say? And I'm like, you can't help me with this.
It's your dare.
Sorry, I'm like, I picked dare, and then I'm like, of course, I'm like, put me on the spot for this, and I'm like, what do I say that's I'm just honestly, like, I say dirty things as a joke, but I'm like, I would say that I'm somewhat wholesome sometimes.
She's
I
stalling.
was about to say, I would be like the only thing that comes up to my, I was like about to say, ooh, girl, and then I was like, I literally don't know what it's like. Sounds like MGMT.
Ooh,
Hmm.
girl, shock me like
Ooh, girl. Can I think while we go on, and then I will say something dirty to you at a random
Okay.
time? I know that's bad, but I'm like, I'm literally like on the spot. I can't think of
Yeah,
something like
no
dirty to
problem.
say.
You can talk dirty to me later before the interview ends.
I'll do it before the end. I'll put it right here so I remember.
Okay, so now it's time for the human experience section. Okay, in this section, I'm gonna ask you more things about how you see life, yourself, the world. It could be a lot of different questions. So the first one is, what do you consider to be the most beautiful things in life?
Um, I mean, like I really try to see like small things around me as beautiful and like not like I feel like it's important to like not just see like certain specific things as beautiful, but like see
See the
even
beauty in everything.
like everyone, and obviously like I see negative in things, but I try to like focus on the little beautiful things, like even just like, oh, I watched the sunset today, like
Oh, I
wow,
love
that was
sunsets.
beautiful. Like we live in such a beautiful city, and it's just like I don't know, like I like to give like small gifts to people, even if it's just something I thrifted, or like just spending a day with your friend you haven't seen in
Yeah.
a long time, like just stuff like that. Like I like value little things. Like obviously, like I think there's really beautiful things that are like paintings and stuff,
Mhm.
but like the kind of like human experience type of stuff is what's more beautiful to me, I'd say.
I love it. I can agree. Like nothing beats spending some quality time with friends and family, like the people that you love. It's just a
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. What is your biggest irrational fear?
Um, I would say like I have a pretty like I mean it's not completely irrational, but I'm always afraid like when I'm like walking upstairs in front of a bunch of people to just like completely just splat out in the most embarrassing way, like where everyone's just be looking at me. And part of it comes from I like I'm really clumsy, and I have tripped and hurt myself on the stairs multiple times. So like
Understand.
I'm like ultra careful on stairs, but it's like I'll be out and I'll be dressed so cute, like wear heels or something, and I'm
And
like,
it's in the
like
back of
I'm
your
going
head,
up the
like
stairs and I'm like, you're going to fall really hard. But I get up the stairs okay if I think about not falling. So
yeah. I'm glad.
that's that I would say is one of my big irrational
Did you
fears.
think of that when we were going up the stairs earlier?
Yeah, I honestly at this point I think about not necessarily that I'm afraid of being embarrassed, but I focus on not tripping on the stairs most times because I've learned my lesson the hard way like multiple times now.
All right. Well, I'm glad you came here in one piece. Okay. Do you think? Oh, what would you regret not doing in your life?
um, I mean I feel like I would regret if I didn't do something that made me happy with my life. Like if I just stuck with a job just to have a job, like
Oh,
not
that's big.
something that I was passionate about, like I know that that would be something very regretful. So I've always tried to like obviously like I have a day job and I enjoy what I do in the daytime, but I still am pursuing music and art and whatnot. So
Yeah. All right. No regrets.
no
No
regrets.
regrets. Okay. What is something that you like about yourself?
Um, Honestly, I feel like I'm like a little awkward and quirky, and I used to when I was in middle school and high school. Like, I didn't necessarily feel good about that, but now I feel like I'm unique, and like
Yes. Own
I
it.
like that about me because I feel like I wouldn't be who I am if I wasn't a little odd, you know?
We
So,
we all are in a
yeah,
way.
and
I feel a lot, especially like us in the industry. Like we are weird in our own way, but that's what makes us unique and beautiful.
yeah.
I love it. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Um, So there's like like I'm like really weird about certain sounds, and there's like these like certain high pitched sounds that it's like I literally just can't.
Like the scratching of like the.
It's styrofoam is one of them,
Oh,
but
like the
there's
squeak.
also like certain songs there'll just be a frequency in the song, and it's like everything else about the song. I'm like, it's produced great, like all these sounds are nice, and there's like one sound in there. I'm like, just can't listen to it. And it's like I totally respect the artist, but it's just more like it's just a certain sound that my brain's just like I can't.
Nah.
It's
So
my
you
peeve,
wouldn't.
know?
So you wouldn't be into like the ASMR. You know when people eat on the mic.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's like I've seen it, and I feel like there might be like I don't want to listen to someone eating personally.
First of all, I don't want to hear that.
I mean, if it makes you happy, like cool, but that's not. It's just not my thing.
For sure. So where do you find peace?
Um, I mean the ocean, dancing, music, like. I mean, I grew up surfing and hanging out at the beach, doing water sports. So, like, I've always found a lot of peace, whether, like, at the beach or in the water, like, surfing. That's,
Beautiful.
like, very peaceful. And then just music and dance are both kind of, like, I just feel like music makes me very happy in a, like, way that a lot of other things cannot. And so, both of, like, DJing, playing piano, like, any, like, dancing, they all kind of give me a special at peace feeling.
I can totally relate. I love it. Now it's time for the Scarlet letter. So you're gonna have to pick one of this and open it, answer the question inside.
Oh,
Oh, the bottom one. Okay. People always go for the middle.
I was going to, but I was like, I feel like people would choose that one.
There you go, girl.
If you were transported 400 years into the past with no clothes or anything else, how would you prove that you were from the future? That's really interesting. Like, I guess I wouldn't know that I'd just suddenly been. I was like, somehow find out who was, like, find out a discovery that was about to happen and, like, tell them and predict a bunch of things, but, like, I don't have that perfect of a recall of history, so if like it happened right now, I was just transported 400 years back, that would definitely not work. But I feel like I would probably fail epically to prove that I was from the future, if I'm gonna be honest. I know that's not an answer to the question, but I mean, I would just try to like tell them about events that would happen, I guess. And
Yeah, like predict.
they'd probably just think I was some oracle, or they would think I was a witch, and at that time I feel like they were not into witchcraft, so
Yeah.
I would,
So you would just die.
yeah, unfortunately. They'd probably just think that I had something wrong with me.
Oh.
But I would try.
Yeah, you just gotta try. Okay, so the last thing is the mystery box. Thanks. Thank
Mystery
you.
box from the mystery hand.
From the mystery hand, from Mystery Mike. It's your souvenir.
Oh. It's a hot dog.
It's a squishy hot dog.
Squishy hot dog. Ooh.
There you go. It's a bunch of random stuff in here. And before we go on your set, you need to say something dirty to me.
So like I said, I honestly am really failing at saying something dirty, but I came up with an idea. So the Umbrella Friends, as you may know, we have a thing about spanking, and that accidentally I brought it into the crew. So would you take me giving you a spanking as the dirty thing?
Yes, I actually would be super down.
Yeah, so I'll give you a story. So the spanking thing started because a friend, my first Desert Hearts, had a boat paddle, and we just were giving, it said free spankings, and so we were giving out shots and spankings to people, and it was just funny. It was mostly my guy friends spanking each other way too hard. It was really funny. So our first umbrella weekend that we did, it was really small. My boyfriend's shoes broke, and so I needed to get him new shoes at Big Five down the road, and they had a boat paddle, and I was like, oh, like, I'll get a boat paddle, and I didn't think it would take off. When I brought it back, everyone's like, what? And then it just kind of became a thing.
I love it.
I will replace my dirty thing with, I can give you a spanking.
All right, then. And now you know the story behind the paddle, okay? Because if you've been to an umbrella event,
Yeah, you might have wondered what is going on, how did this happen, or you might have just really enjoyed it. Whatever you think about it.
I definitely spanked people with that before.
It's all meant in love and is a purely consensual thing. Like, you don't like it, cool. But a lot of people have a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this amazing interview. We're ready to hear your set. We're going on a 5-minute break, and we'll be back for some tunes. All right? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay.
Do you guys have like a most memorable moment in House to Ourselves where you were like, okay, we'll never forget this event, or something really special happened or something?
I'd have to say our 1-year birthday party.
100%.
Yeah, that was we kind of got caught way off guard on that one, just because we had Lee Reynolds from Desert Hearts in the car.
Oh yeah, I was there. That was my first House to Ourselves, actually. Yeah. It was insane.
We like, the party was trending pretty well, and then just like,
there's an implication that it's harder for women to make it in an industry that is predominantly male driven. Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree for certain instances. I've always been in either the entertainment industry or other stuff that everything I always work in is all male dominated, like match my ways.
Yes.
So I gotta hold it strong.
Same here. I feel you.
There's also different ways to go about things. Like I don't like to try to victimize myself and play that.
What is the most rewarding thing about being a DJ and producer for you?
I think meeting people, sharing experiences with people. Being able to explore new places, new people, new things, sharing music that you make with people, and like getting a random message from somebody saying, dude, this is
love your track
or whatever, and you're like, gosh, you're from not even here, somewhere, like whatever that may be, just the fact that you have this vision that you want to.
You started your broadcast media experience in your college radio.
Yes, at UCSD.
Just like me.
Yep, exactly.
What is it that drew you to join the station, and what was your experience like?
Well, I wanted to be an actress, but I got sidetracked.
Oh.
So I was on the campus at UCSD, and I walked by the radio station, and I walked in, and my life...
So how is it that you've been able to keep committed to the music throughout all these years, despite all the difficulties?
Here's my take on this stuff, right? Anything in life that you put focus, time, and energy into, you're going to get good at it. It doesn't matter what the job is. So if you want to be in the music industry and that's what your focus is on and that's what you're pushing, you're going to, eventually you're going to break through.
How did you come up with your name, Speaker Honey?
It's actually funny. So I was going to school in Hawaii. I went to school at University of Hawaii Hilo, and it was like my second semester, and I knew I was like, I have my music project I want to do. I'm making music in Ableton. I want to make a name. I need to find a name, and it was just kind of in the back of my head, constantly turning like, what's my name going to be? And then one day I was hanging out with some friends, and it was after school, after classes at like one.
Memo Rex unifies past, present, and future into one heart, one mind, one spirit. Whoa.
Wow, that got deep real quick.
Yeah.
Holy
moly.
That's
what I'm saying. I feel like you're going to take me on a journey of like enlightenment.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it together. I want everybody on this voyage.
I love it. So what are these cosmic vibrations? Are you a spiritual person? I
consider myself to be a very, very spiritual person, and so much to the point that sometimes I'm not spiritual at all.
Tell me about how your style of DJing has changed.
Tell you how I like to do the robot in the bathroom, in the shower.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. This is how it's changed. I think it was pretty reckless when I first started. I had nobody taught me, right? I taught myself. When I first started, I started on 1200s on decks, on turntables. I met people that...
If you can name like the top 5 skills you had to learn that are important for a business in the industry.
Open your ears and listen. Number 1, listen. Number 2, be kind. I know that sounds silly, but kindness pays. Like, I have great relationships with all my vendors and my staff, and there's just a mutual respect there, and it just works. You said 5, right?
Yeah.
All right. 3, watch your numbers. I mean, it is what it is. You got to know your numbers.
And how did you get started with Hunt and Gather? How did you get that opportunity?
I you know what? I told the universe what I wanted.
You told
And
him, hey, universe.
I think it's really powerful to like write stuff down.
Oh my God,
Like,
yes.
That shit works. Like, do it. If you want something, concentrate and
do it.
Tell the
Concentrate.
universe what you want. Be very clear about it. And I said I wanted to get out of what I was doing, and I was working for Callaway Golf Group.
The fundamentally neutral tool. Where's the balance? How you compare the balance.
All right, that was fantastic. Such a vibe. Just felt like, dancing, chilling. I could be like on a couch, you know, smoking a joint or like having a nice little cocktail or just at the beach. Like so many things. This could go with like so many different vibes. So thank you for this amazing set and the interview. Any last words you want to tell your fans and your loved ones?
Well, thank you to you for having me. I've been mostly in my house doing work, so it's nice to get out and do something like this. To all family, friends, fans, miss you guys. Can't wait to someday be back on a real dance floor. But for now, just keep up with me online. Umbrella Friends. We're streaming like pretty much every weekend. Hugo and I, my boyfriend, have a stream coming up in 2 weeks, Sunset Sessions. We're supporting all the things space to raise money for her to have a COVID-safe event space and craft space for people. So that's going to be coming up. So yeah, stay tuned on Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud. We'll stay in touch. I miss you guys.
All right, we miss y'all. See you next Thursday on episode 74. Have a good night, everyone.